On this edition of Maury County Now, an update on the Northfield Workforce Development and Conference Center. A brand new, very sweet exhibit is open at the Polk Presidential Hall. Historic Maury County honors Women's History Month. And finally, an exclusive interview and music video from Daphne and the Mystery Machines. All this and more on this edition of Maury County Now. Hello, and welcome to Maury County Now, Columbia and Maury County's news show covering the events, ideas, groups, and happenings in and around Maury County. One of Maury County's greatest assets keeps getting better. Here's Jaynes McFall, Executive Director of the South Central Tennessee Workforce Alliance, about some exciting developments out at Northfield.
Hi, I'm Jaynes McFall, Executive Director of the South Central Tennessee Workforce Alliance, and I want to welcome you to the Workforce Development and Conference Center at Northfield and give you a quick update on some of the things that are going on here. The biggest event that happened in the last few months is that we have actually, our organization, the South Central Tennessee Workforce Alliance, has actually closed on this facility, so we are now the proud owners of this and purchased this through a lease purchase agreement with General Motors. So we are thrilled to be able to now market this building as a locally owned facility. It really, if you came out here, you really won't notice a lot of changes to it, except that it just continues to get a busier place, to be a busier place day in and day out. Let me start with the training aspect of it, because that's the part that the Workforce Alliance is really, that's our passion, that's our mission. We now have had over 600 students grace the doors here and take part in a number of different programs. Everything from advanced integrated industrial technology courses, which you can get up to a 2-year degree in through Columbia State, to LPN nurses training through the Tennessee College of Applied Technology at Hohenwald, to CNC training or industrial maintenance from both the Tennessee College of Applied Technology at Pulaski or Hohenwald, either one. We are thrilled that we also are home here to the Northfield Academy, which is an alternative high school setting for Maury County public school students that has already produced 30 plus high school graduates, with more on the way this year. It's a wonderful program where students are allowed to progress at their own rate, and if they finish early, they get to go ahead and graduate, or if they take the full year, it's totally up to them, where they can come out and work on the credits that they need. Our newest offering, we're absolutely thrilled. I wish that you could experience with all the senses, and you'll just have to come out here for that, but we now have culinary arts that opened in January, and we were fortunate enough the other day to actually be recipients of some of their first home-cooked meals that are coming out of here, and it was a fantastic soup that made this place, it made you hungry just to walk in the door and smell all the good smells that are coming out of the kitchen. So it won't be long until we invite lots of folks to come out and to see what's going on there. The South Central Tennessee Workforce Alliance, after being on the Court Square in Columbia for about the last 15 years, once we did take possession of the building, we did move our corporate offices out here. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been getting moved in and set up, and we'll look forward to very soon having a ribbon cutting where folks can come out and really take a look at some of the activities that are going on. It just keeps getting busier and keeps getting better. For more information about all the activities that go on at Northfield, you can visit our website, trainatnorthfield.org.
Sweet and secure. That's the name of the latest exhibit at the Polk Presidential Hall. And Maury County Now has a very rich preview for you. Here's Tom Price, curator of the James K. Polk Museum, to tell you a little about this Candied exhibit.
My name is Tom Price. I'm the curator at the President James K. Polk Museum, and I'm talking about our newest exhibit, which will be open through May 10th, called Sweet and Secure Tennessee Sugar Chests. Tennessee sugar chests, and sugar itself is an interesting story. Sugar was one of the more valuable commodities in the 19th century. You acquired it from the Caribbean, and of course the closest port of call to Tennessee and Kentucky, which was the interior western frontier, was through New Orleans. And it was a big job to get sugar up from New Orleans all the way up the Mississippi River, onto the Ohio River, and down to the Cumberland to Nashville. Early on, of course, steamboat technology was pretty basic, and so you would only get sugar once or twice a year. So as a result, if you were buying sugar, you were buying enough to get you through 6 months or a year. So you needed a place to store it that was safe and dry. So sugar chests were born. So you only really see them in Tennessee and Kentucky on the frontier areas where people had to buy large quantities at a time. So sugar chests really are only around for a very specific period of time, the late 18th century into the early to mid 19th century. So a very specific time period and a very specific area. So when people bought sugar, they were buying it for anywhere between 45 and 55 cents a pound, a pretty significant amount of money. It's over $5 a pound in today's dollars in a time when they weren't getting that much money in terms of income. And so they were buying sugar in bulk. Sugar came in cone-shaped, hard-packed cone-shaped cakes, usually in 1 pound or 5 pound cakes. And then you would cut off as much as you would need. And so they would pile these cakes inside of the sugar chests, and then the next layer they would tip upside down and put on top of that. So you could really put a lot of sugar inside of a sugar chest. Now there are lots of forms of sugar chests, from sugar boxes, which were really quite small. You might be able to keep 5 pounds of sugar inside of a sugar box, up into sort of the classic sugar chest. In Tennessee, sugar chests are typically made out of cherry wood, which is the most prevalent wood in this area, with secondary woods of walnut and tulip poplar, of course. So typically, sugar chests were fairly large wooden boxes with a lid on the top that would swing open on a hinge. Inside, you would find compartments, 2 or 3 compartments, where you would keep brown sugar, which was more readily available, of course, than white refined sugar, a smaller area for white refined sugar, and then a third area sometimes where you might keep coffee or maple sugar if that was available in your area as well. There was always, almost always, a lock on sugar chests because it was a valuable commodity. You locked it up, and almost always in the bottom of a sugar chest you would find a drawer where you would keep a ledger to keep track of how much sugar that you used, and sugar nippers to cut off as much sugar as you would need from the sugar cake. So if you were having guests and having tea or coffee, you would offer them 1 lump or 2 in terms of sugar, and that was a measurement of sugar in the 19th century. As with always, the Polk home has a lot of people to thank in putting on these exhibitions. We have a full-time staff of 2 and a part-time staff that all really pitch in to make these exhibits possible. But of course, these exhibits wouldn't happen without the lenders as well. And we have over 15 lenders to this particular exhibit from around Middle Tennessee. So all of our sugar chests are Tennessee sugar chests, but they're beautiful pieces of furniture. I hope you'll have a chance to come down and take a look at them. The Polk home, of course, is open every day of the week, 9 until 4 on the weekdays through Saturday, Sunday 1 until 5. This exhibit will be open through May 10th of this year. To find more information, of course, about everything that we do at the Polk home, including this exhibit, you can visit our website at www.jayneskpolk.com.
We'll be back with more Maury County Now after this. And now, back to more Maury County Now.
March is Women's History Month, and on this edition of Historic Maury County, Adam Southern honors one of Maury County's most famous women.
Hello, I'm Adam Southern, and this is another edition of Historic Maury County. And March is Women's History Month, so let's take a look at one of Maury County's most famous women, Sarah Childress Polk. Now, Sarah Childress Polk was born Sarah Childress near Murfreesboro, Tennessee in 1803. And of course, she came from a very wealthy family. Her father owned a large plantation near Murfreesboro, and she was given the rare opportunity that not many women were given at this time. She was given an education. She was sent to the Salem Academy for Women in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and there she was educated. And a lot of people ask me this because of my affiliation with the Athenaeum. You know, the Athenaeum was here in Columbia, so was the Institute, these famous girls' schools. Why were they so important during this time? And why did the women always seem to marry such great men? Well, these women were taught how to not only support their husbands, but enhance their husbands. And it's something that, you know, we've always heard there's a great woman behind every man. And That's very true in the case of these early women that were educated at these fine schools like the Institute, the Athenaeum, or the Salem Academy. And we see that a lot with Sarah Childress Polk. She was James K. Polk's greatest ally, not only personally but politically. And she was a woman that was very innovative too, because she kept a pocket in her dresses. She had all of her dresses made with pockets, and you might be wondering why. It wasn't proper for women to have pockets back then, but she always carried around a little notebook and a little pencil, and she would take notes. She would go to all these political parties. She'd hear something and say, James might need to know about that, so she'd write it down in the notebook. At night, she would pull this notebook out and they would start talking about everything that she heard at this party. So very astute political ally. And she helped him with speeches, helped him with campaigns, even advised him on policy. So she was a very strong woman, and that education that she received helped her a long way with that. And of course, James K. Polk had one of the shortest retirements of any U.S. president. He died 3 months after leaving office, and left Sarah Childress Polk to live out the rest of her life from 1849 to 1891 as a widow. And she dressed in black the rest of her life in James K. Polk's memory. And it's interesting to note that one of the reasons that he kind of courted her was because his political advisor, Andy Jackson, said, "This is a wife for you." He saw the promise in her. And she wasn't a bad-looking lady either. So it was a win-win on both sides for James K. Polk. And she's one of the strongest women in Maury County's past. And hope everyone celebrates Women's History Month by reading about some famous woman in our past. Several books here at the Maury County Library. And I hope you come see me. Thank you.
Maury County Now is proud to present local talent and artists from our community to the entire world, and the subjects of our last segment are no exception. Here's Daphne Culver of Daphne and the Mystery Machines to talk about the band, their music, and the new video for their song, Learn to Fall.
Hi, I'm Daphne Culver, Daphne and the Mystery Machines. Our band got started this last summer. I got asked to play for the State Fair in Tennessee. So I got some players together that had the sound that I was looking for, some string players, and got two of my best friends, Jen Palmer and Adam Taylor, to join up with me to help sing and play guitar and stuff. So we've been kind of doing it ever since. We play really raw and authentic music, and the lyrics are the same. I guess it'd be kind of like Americana folk rock, but it's a little bit darker folk, I guess. A little more brooding and melodic. It's a lot different. I guess our band's a little bit different because almost everybody in the band sings, and so we bring in these really amazing harmonies, and we're able to really swell the sound and really invoke a lot of extra emotions and stuff like that. And having the strings, like having the cello and stuff like that, and upright bass helps us a lot with that too. Courtney Blackwell plays cello. I play acoustic guitar. Adam Taylor plays electric guitar. Sometimes he plays acoustic. Jen Palmer plays acoustic guitar and sings. She's the other lead singer. Jess Perkins is our upright bass player. Right now we're trying to get a fundraiser going to make our first album. We've got a single that just released, and it seems to be doing pretty well, and it's pretty much time for us to make an album, and we're just a little bit short on funds on that. So we're a few weeks into it, and it's coming up on the end of the campaign, so we're trying to get as many people to help support, pre-order the album, order a house show, stuff like that. We have a Reverb Nation website, and it's reverbnation.com/Daphne the Mystery Machines. And we also have Facebook, and on there we post where we're going to be playing. You can listen to the single that we have for free, or you can download it. Pretty much if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, we'll be posting where we're going to be, what's going on.
When I hear you sing the songs that I wrote, I get a little lump down in my throat. I can see the corners that I shade when I see you walking down the roads that I pave. We all live our lives and make our mistakes taking for granted all the choices we made when we were young and out of control. We never listened because they were old. Now that we're grown and out on our own, wish you would have paid attention to all we've been shown. Against the wall. You don't have to be by the phone just to get that call. You don't have to be by the phone just to get that call. That call. Watch what you say, you better watch what you do, 'cause it's all coming right back to you. Spend our days making the beds that we lay in, always working when we should have been playing. Tighten your boots and strap on your belt. Don't start crying about the hand you've been dealt. You get what you got, and though it ain't much, all you've been given, it's always enough. Against the wall. Don't hang your head, boy, you gotta learn to stand tall. Don't hang your head, boy, you gotta learn to stand tall. Stand tall. Stand tall.
To find out more information about any of the stories you've seen on this edition of Maury County Now, or to find out about any of the topics mentioned, check out our website at maurycountynow.com and look in the show notes for more details. Maury County Now is produced by Columbia TNTV. Thanks for watching Maury County Now. We'll see you next time.